That threat comes after a deadly exchange of fire on Tuesday morning that killed 3 Lebanese soldiers, a journalist and a senior Israeli officer. Lebanon says Israel crossed the United Nations monitored border to cut down a tree. Israel says it was doing maintenance work. Well, the incident took place in the Lebanese village of Edessa and the Israeli village of Misgav Am. There are currently about 13,000 UN peacekeeping forces stationed there in the so-called Blue Line buffer zone. Alongside them on the northern side of the Blue Line are 15,000 Lebanese troops. Israel keeps a substantial force on its side of the border, but the number of units is not disclosed. Well, as Zaina Hodder reports, Tuesday's confrontation adds to an already tense border.
Heavy shelling and gunfire along the Lebanon-Israel border. It was the worst clash since the July 2006 war. But this time, the Lebanese army was involved, not Hezbollah. Casualties fell on both sides, and the Lebanese journalist lost his life caught in the crossfire. Each side blamed the other for starting the clash. Exchanges of light arms and artillery fire, Israeli helicopters attacked from the air. The Lebanese army said Israeli troops tried to remove a tree to install a camera on Lebanon's territory. Israel disputed the claim, saying routine maintenance erupted into cross-border fighting. This fence is the so-called blue line that separates Lebanon from Israel. It was drawn up by the United Nations in 2000 when Israel ended its 22-year occupation of southern Lebanon. There are areas along the border which remain disputed. This is one of them. The United Nations peacekeeping force UNIFIL will investigate and determine which side violated UN Resolution 1701 that put an end to hostilities in 2006. Lebanon and Israel are still officially at war, and tensions have been rising in this volatile region in recent weeks. Those tensions mainly between Israel and Hezbollah.
Hezbollah contacted the commanders of the Lebanese army and informed them that we are prepared, put to the highest state of alert, and we are with you, by you, and backing you and at your disposal.
Why did the Lebanese military forces decide to provoke in a very violent manner at Israel? What was the cause for this? This is the question that should be asked, because Israel did not do anything to provoke this sort of activity. We solely operated from within Israeli territory.
The border clash may have lasted for hours and was the most serious in years. But a UN source told Al Jazeera he believes it will remain an isolated incident, at least for the time being. Zaina Hodder, Al Jazeera, Edessa, South Lebanon.
Well, Ibrahim Musawi is a Hezbollah spokesman. He told me a short time ago why it's so important for his group to stand by the Lebanese army.
But if anything happens, it's the duty and the honor and the right of every Lebanese to defend and to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Lebanese army. Remind you, the Lebanese army is come from people, and resistance comes from people. So you're talking about something very legitimate coming out from the people themselves.
Do you believe this situation is likely to escalate?
No, I don't think this is going to escalate. I believe that the Israelis are more likely to understand the lesson now because they have expressed such kind of bewilderment and astonishment for the reaction by the Lebanese army. And I believe with this speech by Sayyid Nasrallah, more immunity and more sovereignty is going to be injected to the whole Lebanese system, where the Israelis would never think to trespass their limits again.